Hello again, loved ones. This is Matt Stevens, and I hope you are doing fantastic. I know I am. And so I was looking into some things, okay? I've been reading the Holographic Universe, and I've been very interested in holographic theory for a pretty good while. And anyway, I had a quote come to mind, and the quote is the whole is present in its parts. Okay. And I'm trying to think, where did I hear that quote from? Right? So I'm like, it sounds like something that would have been said in the Kybalion, probably. So I look in the Kybalion, can't find it. So I go to the internet and I'm like, I put it in, quote, whole is present in its parts, whatever. And it gives me a quote, but it's not even that. It's the whole is greater than its parts. And I'm like, that's not what I'm looking for. In fact, that's kind of the opposite of what I'm looking for. But anyway, so I read into it a little more, and it gives an example of a bicycle handlebar is kind of useless by itself, but when it's combined with the rest of the bicycle, the whole, then the whole is greater than the parts. And I'm like, okay, fine. With the bicycle, that's true. But I'm talking about immortal souls here, right? I'm talking about humans and whatever, right? So anyway, I keep digging and I'm looking and I'm like, where did I come up with this quote? The whole is greater than its parts. And I'd never found it. So if anybody watching this knows where I got that quote from, please, please enlighten me. Because I'm like, did I make that? I didn't make that up. That for one, that just sounds like a rather profound quote that came from some book, right? I mean, it just does. But I'm like, where did I get that from? Did I pull that out of the ether? Did I pull it from an alternate reality? Is it a Mandela effect? I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of joking there. I don't know. All I know is that I got it, and I don't know where I got it from. But it did remind me of the quote that I had mentioned, I don't know, a little while back, about the Rumi quote, in that you are not a drop in the ocean, but you are the entire ocean in a drop. And what that means is, even though you are a drop and I'm a drop, we're all a drop, but the entire ocean is in you, as you being a drop. And really what that means is that our creator is in the whole. But how holographic theory kind of applies to that is because like in the Holographic Universe right here, it talks about how a hologram is made, and also in Stalking the Wild Pendulum by Itzhak Bentov, he talks about how holography works. Please understand, I am very much more, I am a spiritual guy, not a scientific guy, but I do understand that understanding the science behind some of this stuff does help to build belief. It does help to build trust in your ability to create reality and things like that. But also in Stalking the Wild Pendulum, he gives the example of if you take a bucket of water and you were to drop any number, but whatever, we'll say 3 pebbles. You were to drop 3 pebbles into a bucket of water. Now, though each pebble is going to make a ripple effect, and this set of ripples and this set of ripples and this set of ripples, they're all going to interact with each other, and that what they call an interference pattern. Now, if you were to flash freeze that, instantly freeze that, so that you freeze those ripples in place, then take that piece of ice and shine a light through it, it would project for you basically a map of where those individual pebbles are, where they were located, even though the ripples are just a kind of a mess of interference pattern. However, it would still show that to you where those pebbles are. Now that's really cool. But what's even cooler is if you were to take that piece of ice and break it into as many pieces as you want, as small as you want and as many pieces as you want, Each and every one of those pieces, no matter how many there are, no matter how small they are, if you shine a light through any one of those, it's still going to show you a map or a hologram of where those 3 pebbles were dropped in the bucket. That's amazing. I mean, it really is. So, that, and I think I used in the last video, or very recently anyway, how that would explain how you can have something this big, shine a light through it, and then project so the universe could actually be this big in the mind of the all or the creator or whatever. And then you could shine a laser through it and it make a projection that is vast, that is enormous, that gives the illusion of it's huge. And while you're in it, you would be under the illusion that it is vast and huge. And like with quantum entanglement, it would explain that. In that quantum entanglement said that, what Einstein called spooky action at a distance. He kind of rejected quantum entanglement. I guess he couldn't really deny it because it's a thing, but he didn't like it because it could not, it went against what they know to be true. That if you have a particle, quantum, whatever, you have a particle on this side of the universe, it's separated by any distance, on one end of the universe and another one on the other end of the universe, separated by literally billions of light years. Whatever happens to this one also happens to this one instantaneously. That's why Einstein rejected it. He's like, but what you're saying is there's communication between these 2 particles instantly, which is definitely faster than the speed of light. Yeah, couldn't go with it, I guess. However, if we really think, okay, these 2 particles are not really that far apart, they just appear to be. That's just our perception of it because we are in the hologram with them. But really, they are this far apart. Everything is in here. It just appears to be that big. That is pretty profound. That would explain how everything is connected. Everything is local. Everything is right here, right now. So there's that. It's just an illusion. But in this finite lifetime, in this very short amount of time that we are in this reality, time, space, and distance we do use those things. I mean, and it's necessary to do so. Anyway, I'm gonna check my notes. So yeah, but what I did find on the internet that the whole is greater than its parts, I'm like, that sounds like some indoctrination type stuff there. Because, like I said before, listen, I'm not going to be one to acts like, everything's all kumbaya and rainbows and butterflies. There is evil in the world, in the universe, or whatever. There are things that would like to control us, would like to indoctrinate people into believing that the masses are whatever. That would like to promote hive mind because they need worker bees, right? So that quote that I actually did find when I was looking for one and found the other, I'm like, well, if you say the whole is greater than the parts, that kind of promotes hive mind. Well, I'm not really a fan of hive mind. I'm more of a fan of individual mind. Although I don't judge anybody who wants to be a part of hive mind, that's fine. Although I don't think anybody who really consciously thinks, is ever going to accept that as the reality. They just are they're just in it. They're asleep at the wheel. So, like with the whole collective consciousness, the collective consciousness is made up of many, many billions of individual sparks. But it acts as one unit of consciousness. Now, those of us individuals have woken up to that, have decided, I don't want to be part of that collective. In fact, they are on a very negative trajectory. Doesn't take a genius to figure that out, that the human collective is on a very negative path. And the world's going down, going down the crapper. So, but then there's all those, and that's unfortunate. But there are those of us who have removed ourselves from that, who've said, well, I may be amongst them, right? I've said this many times, but I'm not going to participate in that collective consciousness anymore. I'm going to pull my spark. This spark is going to remove itself, and I'm going to be my own unit of consciousness. That they can be one unit of consciousness. I can be another unit of consciousness. Just this one is one spark. That's all. And that's fine. But yeah, the quote that I actually did find, I'm like, well, hello indoctrination. Indoctrination to hive mind. Right? But, and then like with the example that it gave with the bicycle, sure, that's fine. Okay, I get it. The handlebar is pretty useless without the rest of the bicycle. You're right. Okay. But we're not talking about bicycles here. We're talking about immortal beings. So there's that. And how it all relates to holography and all that good stuff. And another thing is like with the whole, that whole thing, it's like, so what you're saying is if we were to go along with that, you know, the whole is greater than the parts. So those of us parts who are ready to evolve, or those of us parts who are expanding consciousness, who are ready to learn and grow and mature so that we can be prepared whenever we do detach from these bodies and go and move on to whatever comes next. So those of us who are ready to do that now, no, we got to wait for the rest of humanity to also be ready to do that. So we got to sit around and wait for the rest of humanity to be prepared, or I'm sorry, to be ready to move up. Well, if that's the case, then we're screwed, right? If that's the case, because humanity's going down, not up. Sorry, they just are. And that's not good. So by that thinking, it's like, well, now you guys got to wait. You guys got to wait for them. No, not going to do it. No, I'm going up. I'm going to have I'm going to be on a positive trajectory. That's what I'm choosing. And that's what I've chosen. And in fact, things have gotten better every day ever since. And like I have said, I know that one was in the last video. It is a conscious decision that you must make every single day. Because I do believe that during the sleep cycle, the body does shut down. It has to rest or whatever. But your higher self can kind of detach, and that part I don't know. Some people say it goes and explores the astral and whatever. That part, I mean, that's a pretty cool thing to think about, but whether, you know, that's not what the point is. The point is, every day when you wake up, you have to consciously decide, I am me. I am a divine spark of the Creator. And I am going to chart my own course. That's all. So, anyway, my little conspiracy theorist self kicked in and was like, I'll see what you're doing there. Because I never did find the quote that I was looking for, by the way. The whole is present in its parts. So anybody who is watching this that knows where I got that from, the whole is present in its parts, please let me know, because it's driving me crazy, because I'm like, I know I read that somewhere. Or maybe it's a Mandela effect. Maybe I did read it and it's not in this reality. I don't know. Anyway, loved ones, holographic theory is amazing. It's really cool because it would explain how something that appears so vast is really just appearing that vast. It's really right here. It's all right here, right now. And from the mind of the Creator, right? Anyway, that's what I got, loved ones. If you would, please share this video if you feel so inclined. And also, please give it a like. That would be fantastic. And if you have not subscribed, please do so. Please subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. And yeah, that's what I got. I love you, and I will be back directly.